News Network, and we're here at PDAC, and I am with Leigh Curyer, CEO and Director of NexGen Energy. How's the conference going?
Conference is very busy, thank you, Melissa, and a lot of interest, obviously, in NexGen Energy and uranium at the moment. So it's been one of the... I've been coming here since 2002, and it's without doubt one of the busiest conferences I've had personally.
Yeah, and there's a lot of excitement I hear this year.
A lot of excitement. There's some big things that have happened in our industry recently, which suggests that there's a tightening of supply, and that can only be good for upward pressure on uranium prices.
And when you say there's been some things that have been happening, you mean the production cuts from the major producers, right?
That's exactly right. So Cameco have put McArthur River on care and maintenance. Now, that was the world's best mine, one of the lowest cost mines and one of the highest producing mines globally. And it would indicate that the cost of production has got to a point where they need higher realised prices on the contracting side. So there's been a lot of publicity about it, and well, with respect to nuclear fuel, the security of supply is very, very important. And so, yeah, whenever there's been a major disruption in the supply side, uranium prices have normally responded very healthily, and because it's a very tight market. And so there's, after a long period of depressed uranium prices, it looks as though things are about to change.
Any idea when that might be?
Well, it's commonly thought by most market analysts that we'll start seeing some movement this calendar year, and then the problem will, or the situation will start to really exacerbate in 2019 and 2020, where they expect to see prices to really be considerably higher than where they are today. But the exact week, I've been wrong before. But I think since NexGen was incorporated in 2011, I don't think there's been I haven't been more confident going into a calendar year with respect to not only our project, but also the fundamentals for uranium and higher prices.
Can you talk about some of the demand there is for nuclear energy?
Yes, demand is growing steadily at 1 to 2% per annum. Very large reactor builds outs in China, the Middle East. India just announced that they're building 12 new reactors. And amazingly, well, a lot of people would be unaware of this, but Japan, who currently have 5 reactors operating, they're going to have another 4 by the end of May this year. So in a couple of months' time, they're going to have increased their nuclear capacity by 80%. And they're also building 3 new reactors in Japan as well. So the demand for nuclear energy is very, very strong. And if you look at 2006 year as a base, nuclear energy made up 18% of all energy sources. Coal and gas around 65%. Renewables was about 3% at that time. Go forward a decade to 2016, nuclear energy was at 18%. So exactly the same as what it was back in a decade ago. Renewables have increased, but it's cut into the coal and gas energy supply. So nuclear has proven throughout a period of time with its ups and downs that it maintains basically a real steady growth of about 1 to 2% per annum, but over a decade has maintained its percentage as an energy mix within the overall energy supply. So it's very strong on the demand side, but it's a supply side driven consequence at the moment with tightening supply of mines. And the mines, there's some major ones that the world's relied on over many years. They're coming to an end of their useful life. And McArthur, which is a bit of an exception, which does have a long mine life, but its costs of production relative to the actual contracting price have gotten to a bit of a squeeze. And it's Tim Gitzel, the head of Cameco, has been very open about that.
Right. And so here at the conference, you are up for, well, NexGen is up for an award. It's the Bill Denis Award. So for the discovery of the Arrow deposit. So what was your reaction when you found that out?
Oh, look, it was incredibly pleasing to receive such a prestigious award. It is a reflection of a lot of people's effort. You know, our shareholders, our directors, our employees, both current and past employees, explorationists who had been in the area prior to us, the geology department of the Saskatchewan government who had done regional surveys over the years. It's really an award that reflects a lot of contributions throughout the industry and within our company. And it's an award that all of those people should also recognise has contributed to, and we're very proud of it. We have a phenomenal deposit, and this business, you know, the chances of success are very, very low, and we take the view that we've got a responsibility to do this incredibly well as a thank you and a appreciation and recognition of all those guys who have gone before us. And may not have had the technical success that we had, but you know, we learnt off every one of them, and our result is a great result, and we still have a lot of work to do before it comes into fruition as a mine which will have a multi-decade life and create incredible positive benefits for a lot of people, not just locally near the mine, but the province of Saskatchewan and also the country and the world, because we're producing a very clean source of energy.
Can you talk a little bit about where you are with the deposit and what the goals are for 2018?
Yes, we completed a PEA last year, which showed pretty phenomenal economics. We have consequently continued drilling. We've been doing the geotechnical work, the metallurgical work, all to form the basis of a pre-feasibility study which we expect to deliver end of Q3, early Q4 of 2018. And incorporated in that will be an updated resource. We've also, as of today, we also announced the appointment of a Senior Vice President of Project Development, James Hatley. He comes to us with a wealth of experience in Saskatchewan in operating both mines, uranium mines and mills, and we're very excited about his appointment. It shows a real clear direction of NexGen that you know, we're only really at stage one of our overall objective, and we're now transitioning and going full steam ahead towards bringing this remarkable asset into production.
And can you talk a little bit about operating in the province of Saskatchewan? The Fraser Institute released a report recently. Saskatchewan ranked fairly highly on a list of top places to be when you're mining. Yeah,
and it is. Look, I've gone through permitting mines in Australia, which I'm from, but I now live in Canada and it's our home, where I think the regulatory framework is very strong. However, Saskatchewan is the #1 province in the world for mining, and there's the really good reason for that, and that is, you know, the professionalism of the Saskatchewan government, the regulatory bodies that they manage. They're incredibly supportive. It's a real partnership approach, and they also see the opportunity for the province of Saskatchewan working in partnership with us and setting a new elite standard in environmental mine management for a mine of this calibre. And look, governments generally get a bad rap around the world, a lot of criticism of governments, but the Saskatchewan government should be applauded, and that is really why when I started NexGen, we could have gone anywhere around the world. Not only does Saskatchewan and the Athabasca Basin have high-grade, high-tonnage deposits, it was also a sovereign factor. And their sovereign profile and the way they support mining in a real sensible manner. There's no shortcuts. They're very, very tough on their regulations, and they should be. And but they're ultimately professional, and that's what we go. You know, we made a decision. We're going to be investing people's money in a jurisdiction. We can't be so like sideswiped by political unrest or unfair regulations, and that's why we chose Saskatchewan.
And is there anything else you'd like to add? I'm pretty much out of questions right now, so.
Yeah, look, it's a real honour to receive the Bill Denis Award on behalf of NexGen, and I thank everyone who's ever supported myself, the employees, the directors. We've got fantastic support, and our shareholders, and also past shareholders who invested early in NexGen when uranium was depressed, and they showed really strong commitment. And I thank them. I really do. They've allowed us to go and achieve this result. And as I said earlier, they should feel very much a part of this award as we do.
That's great. Thank you so much. So I'm Melissa Shaw with the Investing News Network. We're here at PDAC, and I'm with Leigh Curyer, CEO and Director of NexGen Energy.